always such a pleasure, at least to me, and I think probably most of the other people too, to watch you speak. You're such a professional. His primary purpose this morning was related to visual aids, and I was reading through the book, and it mentions overhead transparencies. So I think the book probably needs a little bit of updating. I'm not sure Jesse or some of the younger people even know what those are. You did a very nice job, I thought, in your intro, that you modified it to fit in with the acquainting session, and it still fit very well with your speech. You did an excellent job with the visual aids. I thought the table worked nice in your little bin. I didn't see anything distracting whatsoever, the way that you use those, the backpack and the other things that you were demonstrating. Your dress is obviously appropriate for what you were talking about today. And that's another thing all of us can learn from, depending on the type of speech that you're giving. You have great eye contact, hand gestures, nothing there that I saw anything with. I would like to see you use a little more vocal variety. I think you can incorporate that a little bit more into your speech. Personally, I would call it a two-person tent instead of a two-man tent, but that's it. Good thing Rich is not here today.
More PC.
Another thing I think you could work a little bit more on is your pauses. There was a couple points I noted. What am I going to take with me? And think about that. Only a tick or two. I mean, you started into your next part of the speech. I think if you added just a second or so with more in there, that it would have a little bit more effect. You had a couple of very, very good pauses in your conclusion. And speaking of the conclusion, the timing obviously was an issue, but we hit a dilemma when that yellow light comes on, and you have to start making some decisions of what you want to do. And what you did, you finished your conclusion, I thought. I mean, you completed your message. Like I said, you had pauses in there, and the conclusion is the most important part of the speech. And if you change it, you can lose everything in the speech. So I thought what you did was the right thing to do when you're running into a timing issue. Now there's some things that you can do. I like to write my opening, write my conclusion, and then have some variability in the middle. You can have the timer maybe give you an early green, so you have a little bit more time to get to where you want to get to in your conclusion. You injected humor into the speech, which was a great job, makes it much more interesting. And overall, I think we can all learn from watching you speak, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and I appreciate the message and everything that you presented this morning. Thank you.
The next speaker to be evaluated is Bud Nickel, and since he's being evaluated by John Bruck, I was trying to imagine John on some of these special operations in the Pacific, dressed as a fisherman and doing all the other things that he's been known to do. So Bud Nickel, his speech.